afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. This is Dr. Sarah Renee Langley with my co-host, Dani Robinson, licensed social worker.
Hey, everybody.
Yes, we want to thank you for tuning in to Advancing in Adversity. And we're talking about today, how did you celebrate? How to celebrate Juneteenth. So, hey, happy Juneteenth. Is that how we should say it? Happy Juneteenth to everyone who's watching at the time of this recording. And look, we just want to know, how is your day? We thank you so much for tuning in. We thank you because of the fact that this would not even be if you were not here. And we appreciate your time. You could join any other live stream, any other webinar, any masterclass, but you have decided to choose us and be with us. So thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. So talk back to us. Let us know how your day was. One, in the comment section, if you had a great day, and two, in the comment section, if you had a so-so day. And if you had a so-so day, why was it a so-so day? And what are you going to do to move that 2 to a 1 tomorrow? So you can put that in the comment section and let us know where you're coming from, because, hey, we're all over the place. We're all over the world live streaming. So where are you coming from? I hail the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection, although I'm in Maryland. But hey, that's where I'm from. I will rep my city all day long. Hey,
Yes.
Dani, how about you? How are you doing? And where are you repping?
Newark in the house, Jersey in the house. I told y'all yesterday, we've been celebrating for a while. We will still be celebrating outside. So just so you know, everything's cool. We just got fireworks going, okay? It's legal now in Jersey, so we are acting amok. But we are doing good over here in Jersey. We are holding it down. Happy Juneteenth to everybody.
She has to make sure and let us know that, look, it's just fireworks, y'all. That's it. It's just fireworks.
Yes, just fireworks. I know it's Jersey, but it's just fireworks.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Michael, he's representing Delaware in the house. So hey, Michael, thank you for tuning in. We hope all is well with you and yours. Hey, Lavanzel, my cousin, representing North Carolina, North Kakalaki. So thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate your time. So look, let us know, how has your day been? How has your week been? I tell you the truth, I celebrate wins, and I'm so happy about the wins that I've been noticing people would post on when I ask the question, what are you accomplishing today? What are your intentions? What's your goals? And I see that you all are winning, and that's awesome. And just know that there is no such thing as losing. Either you win or you learn. So if you didn't win today, then you learned. What did you learn? What are the learning lessons? What are the takeaways? So that will actually turn into a win the next day. So, hey, thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. I'm so excited about today because we're going to talk about how you can actually celebrate Juneteenth. Are y'all ready for that? How to actually celebrate Juneteenth. But before we go into it, Dani always come up with her Dani hot topics. So please, Dani, can you let us know what's hot and topic? What's the hot topic going on right now?
Well, in celebration, Dr. Langley, of Juneteenth, we have to talk about your president. Because I know you keep trying to bring him over here. So we're not claiming him. We're not claiming him over here. We're pushing that over there on your side.
Pushing it back.
Oh my gosh. So just bringing it to light, because of course he thought it was appropriate to share that he made Juneteenth popular. He made it popular. So he feels that because, he decided to show, or was going to hold his rally today in Tulsa, Oklahoma, of all the places he could have had it, the audacity of that. Oh, that tingled me in a certain spot. You just don't understand. I was praying for uplift of the ancestors, and honey, but that was put a stop to that. But he said the president told the Journal that he did something good by initially scheduling his comeback rally on the holiday, falsely claiming that nobody knew of Juneteenth until he took credit of making the holiday very famous. Lord have mercy. So, and then he was saying, I think he said that he didn't know what Juneteenth was until one of the Black Secret Service members explained to him the importance of the holiday and how that wasn't very sensitive, considering the culture that we are in right now, particularly that has been incited by your own rhetoric. But okay. So it was so funny because I believe he asked the room, did anybody else know? And then the statement from, I believe, one of the aides, she said, I did from last year when the White House put out a statement of the president's communications. And then he's like, oh, really? We put out a statement? How about that? Okay, all right. And surprise. So no, you did not make Juneteenth popular. You did not make Juneteenth known. I think it is the uplifting and the enragement of the current times that we're in is what really has brought us to uplift ourselves during this moment, for us to really speak out and voice out. I think that is what has caused this, not you. Sorry, President. That is not what has caused this. And actually, oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, no, you're fine. I was going to say, I think that your segments should be Dani clapbacks.
Oh,
so clapback. Dani,
because I said back every time, like, you know what?
Dani clapbacks.
Okay, that's what we can call it, the clapback, because President, you did not make it that. I like that, Dr. Langley. I like that. It's going to be the clapbacks. And every time I'm and then come on. Okay, so I'm gonna work on that, y'all. But yes,
the segment, Dani clapback moment, Dani clapback topics or whatever. But yeah,
all right. If anybody has a suggestion about how we should phrase that, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments, and we will work on that. I will put that in there. But yeah, so he has some nerve, and let's not forget that this is one of the oldest celebrations in the history of the ending of slavery. You did not make this popular. You did not make this popular. This is not about you. Again, but that's that narcissistic personality disorder. Making everything about you. Had nothing to do with you. No, sir. No, sir. Other quick topic. I did find something right before we got on, and I'm going to give a big shout out. I hope that she is still living. But Miss Opal Lee, 72-year-old, a grandmother, has been walking through the streets of Galveston, all around Texas, since before last year, but I think her story was picked up last year, on a quest to make Juneteenth a national holiday. 92 years old, out here trekking. I saw her and she was out there talking. She's like, yeah, I've been out here Galveston. She was naming all the different towns in Houston and everywhere that she's been on the path to make this a national holiday. So again, this was not popular by the president. This has been going on. Quite a few of us have already known about Juneteenth, but I'm so glad that we are all coming to the barbecue. And we is all bringing it together. The support and the focus on Juneteenth right now. I am just so proud and so happy. This is like our personal Independence Day. I'm so happy to see this. This is a beautiful thing.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for those clapback moments. Dani clapbacks. And you know what? It's awesome that now, where are we right now in the country? Is it now a national holiday? Like, I had a couple of clients who said that, you know what, my company now allowed us to take off, or we are now able to get off without pay, So where are we in this? Do you know, like, where we are with making Juneteenth?
I believe as of today, President Trump has not made any notation or any commentary of making it a national holiday. However, you are very right. I have seen that there are actually several cities and towns that have made it a holiday within their city to be celebrated, as well as, like you're saying, I've seen several companies and people listening about their companies that are now celebrating it. I think even Nike is celebrating it as a paid holiday off, if I'm not mistaken. So companies are now taking a part in it, even if it's not nationally recognized yet. It is still being brought to the forefront, definitely.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So, hey, with everything that's happening, I'm glad that we are striking while the iron is hot.
Yes.
Why not? And taking full advantage, of their guilt. Why not? So that we can now move this daggone thing forward in getting everything to the place of equality, justice for all.
Right.
And yeah, I think that that's a great thing. If y'all had, for all those who are watching, did you have the day off? Did you ask for the day off? Did your company allow you to have the day off, or they gave you the day off? As a matter of fact, I was going to post it. Someone that I follow, her name is Lydia. So shouting you out, Lydia. And she had did a post where she was like, it seems like when someone says Juneteenth, or when a white person say Juneteenth, it's as if they're saying, "You're welcome, Negroes." And one of her followers has said, "Oh my gosh," who was white. She was like, "Oh my gosh, I said that. If it was wrong, I'm sorry." And so Lydia has said, "I loved your post in general, but here's what we're really looking for. She's like, I'm just speaking for myself, but we're looking for a commitment to something. We want you to acknowledge, to own, to accept, to state what it is in regard, not just Juneteenth, but where we are, the climate, where we are today. And to therefore say, what are you committing to? Not just let it be in consciousness and feeling like your conscience is now clear because now everybody is focusing and celebrating Juneteenth, or now we're really going to see how February next year will be like, or, just all these different things that are happening. No, are you going to really seriously after everything, even if and when things die down, if it will die down, are you still going to remain the same as you've been, this new person that you're becoming, and this new person that you're now, portraying to us, that you are really down for the cause?
Right.
Or is it just a flash in the pan moment, and then we're going back to status quo or business as usual? So I liked what Lydia has said to that, and bringing clarity that here is where we are, as we can talk about the topic. Before we do, if Dani has anything else that you want to share on her clapback moments, I just think that we should really talk about it in regards to Juneteenth, how to celebrate it. How did you celebrate it, everyone? And then what are we going to do next time? Because there's many of us who can say, we didn't even know about Juneteenth as people of color, as Black people. I've been seeing posts about that. Like, you know what, I'm going to be honest, I didn't really know what Juneteenth was until last year. Because we talked about that the other day, how a lot of history, our history, wasn't even written in the textbooks or in the school curriculum. So it's now leaving us at this place where we have to really make Google our friend and really come to know more about our own selves day by day by day. So y'all can talk back to us in the comment section. I see quite a few comments that's coming in. Dani, what's your thoughts to that? And I'll read the comments. And thank you.
Yes, no, most definitely. Again, no condemnation for those that didn't know about, Juneteenth. This is, there's always, you're never going to know it all, right? So it's just a learning progress. It's a learning process. You learn more, the more you know, the more you grow, right? So it's just like, there's no condemnation, and that's good, because it's like, all right, now look more into it. As of today, I didn't even know Juneteenth had a flag. Did you know Juneteenth got a flag? I didn't even know. It's got its own flag. So it's a red, white, and blue flag with a star in the middle. So the star in the middle represents Texas, the Lone Star State. It also represents freedom in all 50 states. There's a burst, so there's like I guess like a halo, or there's an area in between the star, and it represents a type of it says a burst, and I guess the burst represents like new star, I guess, so like new star and new beginning. And there's an arc, I think, below that, and that represents like the horizon and opportunities. And the colors on the flag are red, white, and blue, meaning we were and are American.
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
Awesome.
I had no idea. I didn't know there was no flag till today. So I'm just like this. Like, you may have noticed a flag. I was like, I ain't never seen this flag anywhere. Right. So no, so there's no condemnation or for not knowing, but once you know, dig a little further.
Exactly. All right, thank you for that little known fact. It's like these are the things that makes us now aware, and may even stimulate us to go and find more information, to really become more, versed, more just aware, and it's like now the learning is endless. There's so much more for us to learn about our own history, our own culture. And why not just enjoy and appreciate this time of learning and growing, so that at the end of the day, it's not just for us, but it's for our seed. It's for those who are after us. And I tell you the truth, I'm so grateful for the millennials, the Gen Zers, because of the fact that they are really ripe. They're right here, like seeing them out there protesting. And it just makes me feel more at ease as I get older, that my living, in my ripe ages, seasoned age, that perhaps I'll be okay because I'm looking at how the younger group are
Right.
handling things right now. So that's just a blessing, and
Yeah.
that they get to know more and more about the truth, the real truth, and nothing but the
Nothing
truth
but the
now.
truth. Hallelujah.
So
Hallelujah.
I know, right?
Mhm.
I felt like I was going to preach right there for a second. So Michael has said, my opinion is that we are tired of the token appreciation. Saying the right thing and changing laws, policies, and procedures are two different things. And for far too long, they've given us an entertainment and food and say it's all good. I personally don't celebrate the holidays like most. I don't like the commercialization of them. The the many of most holidays get lost by a barbecue. My
Mm,
God.
that is,
All right, right.
I'm right here. I'm right here with you, brother. I hear you. I hear you. No, that's true. That is so true. Like sometimes we get caught up sometimes in the celebration of things, but not really taking that moment to recognize why we are coming together. Because we love to commune. We love to commune over some food, you know.
Sure do.
Yes, we love to commune.
Yes.
but that's my girlfriend and I. We have that feel like a little hungry. But that is definitely how we commune, but it's definitely to continue to highlight and teach in those moments that we're having those celebrations. So I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Thank you, Michael, for chiming in and sharing that information. So I think that at this point, we can talk a little bit about how to celebrate Juneteenth.
Yes.
How did you celebrate it? Put it in the comment section, everyone. How did you celebrate Juneteenth?
Mm-hmm.
I had everyone, Dani, everybody. I had a client today who really moved me. And she is the only African American in her industry in a state that's 85% white and design, she said by design on purpose, and how she had to, she was asked to speak on being black more. What I forget how the title was, but it was like being black and and in America and something along those lines, so that she can give her spiel to help her colleagues to really understand where people of color are coming from, where black people are coming from. Similar to a conversation that I was a part of a few weeks ago, where there's about 6 of us that were African American women. 4 of us of the 6 were asked to speak on this live webinar with the host who is white. And so me and my other colleague were in the chat part, kind of capturing the questions. And it seemed like that was a lot of that happening in the past few weeks, where now we're asked to speak about being black in America, yeah, racism, issues, because they didn't see it. And what's very interesting is in that dialogue for my client, some people were getting offended when she was talking to her colleagues and everything, and she held no punches. She said, oh, she actually acknowledged it. She said, I can see that you're getting offended. I can see you getting red. I can see you getting upset. And it's okay. You have your moment. And she just kept it moving. Mm-hmm. And so then she, debriefed with me, and she was just trying to check herself to make sure that, well, maybe next time I'll be nice. And I clapped back at her. I said, look, first of all, I was like, I'm not taking up a professional hat. I'm going to always turn this back around to stay professional with you. But really, I said, who is relative? Who is to say that you're wrong or that you were being mean or whatever, based or on the fact that they could not take it or they were getting offended? Sometimes we just have to work through our own stuff and know where this is coming from. What was the thought? Right. The fact that we can't, it's like what Michael just said, paraphrasing it all. Look, we're tired. Why do we have to say certain things? Why do we have to explain at this point in juncture? It was okay. It was a little cute. It was okay the first week. But at the same time, just as much as we have to learn our own stuff, we have to shoulder our own stuff. It's not a matter of us now, because that's what we do as a people. We're so resilient. We're so strong because of what life has been for us, that it's easier to take on and shoulder somebody else's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no, honey, no. I said, you be who you are. And she said, you know what, Dr. Langley, you're right. She's like, you know, the way that I'm going to celebrate Juneteenth is just being unapologetically me.
Right.
That is what I wanted to share with you all today. How did you celebrate Juneteenth? I tell you how. Being unapologetically you. Being who you are. No matter what anyone say. If they feel uncomfortable, we heard this in many different ways. I know I heard this from Lisa Nichols. I heard this as a quote from somewhere else. But pretty much, why do we have to dim our light? Why do we have to dim our shine? Because it makes everybody else feel uncomfortable. You better, I don't have no shades on me, but you might as well just go ahead and take these shades. Yep. So that I can continue to shine. Mm-hmm. We have been so taught. And I want to preface this. I don't need to, but I'll do it. That this is not bashing non-Black, non-people of color. This is not to bash anyone. But it is time for us to really raise and speak our voices and to no longer tolerate. Because I was sitting here in my time of reflection, just thinking about how someone had posted. So I talked about Robert Kiyosaki and how, I guess it was like a week ago, that it was circulating about what he had to say, you know, on his Twitter feed about how he really feels. And so a lot of people of color was like, oh, that's it. You know, I'm done. I'm not going to listen to him. That's another person canceled. Hashtag canceled. I studied under him. And he's the one who does Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Poor Dad, Rich Dad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So while his teaching has been awesome, you know, I said, you know what? When I was younger, I remember my dad was telling us there's 3 things you don't talk about. You don't argue about politics, sports, and religion, or something like that. And it's almost, that always stuck with me because I was like, well, all right. So are we only getting half of a person, a quarter of a person, and not getting the whole person? Yeah. So someone posted or tagged me in a video with Robert, and he said, well, his information was amazing. You know, do you still say that, you know, throw him away because of this information? I mean, he's still full of ish, but, you know, should we still throw him away? I didn't respond. I'm going to respond now. At this point, I think that we're just all at a place that we're just not tolerating anymore. We were all quiet and silent and just trying to be cordial. We're being cordial, but being cordial at the expense of us not being a whole self, a full present self. We only get a tidbit because just like I want to say some years ago when people were starting to cancel people out because someone would ask for someone's opinion on the live broadcast and radio, they give their opinion, and all of a sudden now everybody want to protest to get that person for them having an opinion. And so it was seemingly ridiculous. Like, wow, it has nothing to do with their credibility. It has nothing to do with their status. It has nothing to do with what they do, their work ethic. It's just their opinion. But now where we are today, if this is your opinion, what's really the rest of you? You know, like what are your morals? What are your standards? You're just being fake. And this goes across the board. It's later for always having to be fake and having to dim ourselves, to be cordial, to tolerate. For what? What do we get in the end? Look at what happened anyway. We're now at this place where we try to tolerate, we try to be cordial, we try to, you know, I'm talking about for all of us as human beings, just to try to relate, try to connect, try to fit in. And we're still now at this place. We came to this place where it's no longer about us dimming our light. It's no longer being fake. It's no longer trying to be cordial and keeping certain parts of you out in the space because of the sake of your money, your job, your status. If anything, I'd rather you just be straight. Just be straight up. So then I can decide if I want to rock with you or not. As opposed to taking that decision away by you being a certain way when, wow, really who you are in front of me or really who you are not in front of me is a whole different animal and ball game to which I may not even want to rock with you. I hope that makes sense.
No, definitely.
What's your thoughts? Y'all can talk in the comment section. Dani, what do you think? What's your thoughts?
No, I completely get where you are coming from. For me personally, I do. I'd rather you show me who you are up front, and then I can make my own decision, my own judgment. And that's gonna come out in the wash regardless. So we put up those fronts, we put that up, but it's gonna come out, or there's going to be a situation where your true character does show forth, and it's just like, oh, okay. And then, like my Angela said, when somebody show you who they are, you better believe them. They done showed it to you. You don't need them to prove it to you over and over again. And just to piggyback off of what you were just saying, just about this celebration, or how people are celebrating Juneteenth. I went on Juneteenth.org, that is a website, and really ties into what you were just saying, just talking about we don't have to be silent and we don't have to be cordial. So thinking about Juneteenth, this is the last section. So it's Galveston, Texas. It's like this little island off of Texas. And so these are where the Union soldiers went in to inform them that they were free. And it says the reaction to this profound news ranged from pure shock to immediate jubilation. Yeah. While many lingered to learn of this new employer to employee relationship, many left before these offers were completely off their lips. So they heard the news, they was out. They didn't need no time. They were like, what? So it said attesting to the varying conditions of the plantations and the realization for freedom. Even with nowhere to go, many felt that leaving the plantation would be their greatest grasp of freedom. North was a logical destination, and for many represented true freedom, while the desire to reach family members in the neighboring states drove some to Louisiana and varying areas. But to me, just thinking about that response of being once enslaved and learning that you are now free, you no longer have to hold on to that information. You no longer have to be silent. You no longer have to take that beating down. You no longer have to conform in a particular way just to make others feel comfortable. Right. You no longer have to fit yourself in this box to make others feel okay. That is not your responsibility. Today is your Independence Day. Yes. Today is your day of freedom. Yes. Today is the day that your people will tell you don't have to do that no more. This is not your spot. You are now free, and you need to take that news and keep on going. Yes. Don't even have to hear the rest of it. We don't need to grab nothing. We will figure it out on the way, okay?
We're gonna leave all that behind.
Leave all that. Don't worry. We can get another one.
Another one. I know that's right.
Yes, yes. So just like you were talking about, did she leave? Dr. Lambert? Oh my goodness. Okay. I think she will I think Dr. Langley will come back. I hope. But what I was just gonna share, is that there she goes.
Yeah,
all right. I was like, girl,
I took off. I left everything behind. Oh my God.
Be free. It is done. It is finished. It is finished. It is done. It is said. Oh gosh, but just like you were talking about with your client, I was just thinking about the level of pressure that is to be like the only person probably within miles of the only person of color, the only Black person to have to be the voice, the opinion, the thoughts of the entire Black community. That is exhausting. Yes. That is exhausting. And she shouldn't have to take all of that on. If you want to know, Juneteenth.org. If you want to know, go look up Hidden Colors. If you want to know, you got to do your own research and then come back to me and we could dialogue about it. But that is too much to put that kind of pressure on one person to be this whole vast community because you have no other personal access right here. You do enough Twitter and YouTube and everything else. You can get some information. We are not a communist country where we shut down all information. You can access things.
Right, exactly. Yes. As a matter of fact, she was saying about that when she was sharing about her experiences and things like that, she was getting emotional. She was starting to tear up because she was really into her story and sharing and hoping that they would understand. And so at the end of the day, she was like, she knew that some people weren't paying attention, because even when they were like, that was so amazing, thank you for sharing, where can I find this information? How do I do X, Y, and Z? And so apparently you weren't listening to me.
Right.
I already said that throughout the whole presentation. Google is your friend. Feel free to go ahead and get that information. I do not have to let you know what is what.
Right.
And so just the bottom line for her, she had inspired me in talking about this conversation, that she had decided that she is going to be herself. That is that's how she's celebrating. And this is a hard encouragement to you, everyone. Juneteenth, how do you celebrate? Beyond the barbecues, like Michael had brought up, beyond, just taking a day off. But look at this time of reflection and to celebrate who you are. And if you don't know who you are, it's time to know who you are. It's never too late to discover truly who you are. And be okay with it, unapologetically and guiltlessly. Be who you are. So look, as far as with all that, I love how my client has said that. She was like, I am going to show up. I'm not going to leave myself at home anymore. Beautiful. I'm not going to leave myself at, and just be part of me at home, part of me at the job, because people can't take, who I am. I should be okay to come in with my, head wrap, with my big bamboo earrings. And even though I am in a position, of authority at this particular institution and industry, and they have to report to me, I'm okay with being me. It does not take away from my intelligence. It does not say anything about my status, my clout, my credibility. I'm just being me.
Yeah.
And I tell y'all the truth. And y'all, in your way of celebrating today, be unapologetically, guiltlessly okay. Be who you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You better go and preach on them. That's absolutely it. You've got to be comfortable in you, right? You have to, even if you aren't, because maybe some people have to get to that point where they have to become more comfortable in themselves, or more comfortable just being yourself. Sometimes it just takes those little steps, but just having that moment and being comfortable in who you are. It takes time to sit in that and be like, all right, this is how I feel, and I'm going to stand on it. And, sometimes it's just taking those little steps, and if something raise up and be like, no, we're not going to go for that. No means no. We're just going to say no. And then you're not going to, no, Sally's not going to touch my hair. No, Karen, put it down. We're not doing that today. Okay.
Exactly.
So yeah, it takes time if you haven't reached to that point, but it's always, for anything that you haven't attained, there's always, taking those baby steps towards it, or taking those small steps towards creating that independence for yourself, or speaking up for yourself, or not allowing yourself to be passive anymore, and just saying no and having them be okay with that. It's going to be okay.
Right. And you being okay with that. Be okay with saying no. Being okay with not being okay. We're not living for anyone else. We're living for ourselves. And if I can just go there, I understand that many of you may be married, have children, do what you do, what works for you and your family. But it's about you first. Right. It's not about you last. We have that thing backwards. It's not about, okay, at the end of the day, it's about us at the end. It's about you first, so that you can pour from a full cup, not an empty cup. Right. So later, for all of that, let's start putting everything in decency and in order, so that now you can be happier. Because if you're questioning, well, why am I always miserable and frustrated and sad and depressed and anxious? Well, part of it is because of how you positioned yourself in life when it comes to everyone else. And you just want a piece of the pie. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not being selfish. You want a piece of the pie. So it is about you putting yourself first, unapologetically, guiltlessly, and deciding. Everything always starts with a decision. Decide. How do you want your life to be? Decide, as you advance in adversity, how you want your life to look like after all of this. Decide. Who are you becoming? Who are you becoming?
Right.
Who are you called to become? It's more to you than what meets the eye. It's more to you than what you let on. It's time to discover who you are in your power, in your purpose, in your passion, in your destiny. It is time. Use this time wisely to now unapologetically and guiltlessly become who you are. Now, I want to give shout outs and everyone. Dani's camp, thank y'all for tuning in.
Yes.
My camp, thank y'all for tuning in. Lisa, thank you for tuning in. It's all. I hope all is well with you and yours. Thank you so much. She's hailing, New York. And Tito, hey Tito, thank you for tuning in. When Elder Gwinnett Ross, she has said, Dr. Sarah, this makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much, Elder Gwinnett. Really appreciate you always. Michael has said, many have eyes but refuse to see. Many have ears but refuse to hear. The truth hurts when told from the moral perspective. Our history and treatment in this country was just immoral. They have the eyes wide shut syndrome. I tell my children, I don't hate anyone, but I need you to know the truth about the past.
Right.
Wow. But how can we speak for all, but they can't speak for all? Shaking my head. So I think that as we bring this to a close, and thank you so much, Michael, as always, just for your support and just your sharing. We probably going to have to bring you on to our show.
Yes,
okay?
definitely.
Let us know when you're available, brother. Because he actually has one as well that he does.
Nice.
I believe you do it every morning, Michael. You can correct me, but I want to make sure that people also tune into you and your show, Michael. So you make sure you put in the comment section of your show so that we can tune in on that. I think as we bring it to a close, everybody, y'all take y'all deep breaths. Y'all inhale and exhale. And recenter and regroup. And use this time to really come to know who you are. That's all we always talk about. The way that you advance in adversity is really taking the time to first stop and decide. Stop to come to know who you are. Recenter, regroup. Decide on where you want to go, who you're becoming, what this whole experience is for you, and what is it saying for you? How is it shaping you and your mentality? Everything that's happening is a reconditioning, because right now we have truly been conditioned.
Yeah.
Based on media, based on society, based on our upbringing, based on education, based on however and everything, and now it's just a matter of, we're kind of like shaking it off. It's not matching and mirroring. It's not fitting the image that we have. It's like, it's getting kind of like scrambled now. It's like, whoa, like what is going on? I thought it was one way, but now it's another way, and I'm just confused. Which also sometimes is a great place to be. Why? Yeah. Because that means that there is promise of actuality, the truth to really become, from what you've known to where you're going. Yes, it can be uncomfortable. Yes, it can be scary because it's uncertain, it's uncertainty. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know which way you're going with it. But I tell you the truth, if you just look at it from a different perspective, always shift your mindset, look at it from a different angle and see, well, what could be the blessing that comes out of all of this? And at the end of the day, come on, where we are, yes, it may seem tragic. It may seem, like, wow, all this stuff that's going on. Why did it have to happen based on someone losing their life? And in it all, it's just a matter of taking this opportunity to make sure that none of their deaths are in vain.
Yes.
That this is your opportunity to really become who you are and see what part you play in this earth, in this world, because you're not here by happenstance. You're not here just to be here. You actually do have a purpose. It's not to be compared to anyone else, but you have a unique gift and calling and specific thing that you're supposed to do. And please take the time. Use this time right now. How do you advance in adversity? Take this time right now to come to know who you are. What are you called to do? Who are you here to serve? So that you absolutely can be a whole true self that we can embrace and celebrate, as opposed to you just being half in, half out. No more of that. You celebrate Juneteenth, like my client said, by being yourself. You're not going to leave yourself at the door anymore, in the house anymore. Let's have all of you. Let's have all of you. And when we all come together and being our whole self, oh my God, it's game over. That is true equality. That is true game over. That's all I have to say on that. So just make sure that y'all use this time to really celebrate Juneteenth and going forward every day.
Yeah.
By truly coming to know who you are and being who you are unapologetically and guiltlessly. So I don't know, every time I talk like this, it makes me think of oh my God, Jerry Springer. It makes me think of Jerry Springer.
You know what?
Oh my God, it makes me think of, because how he had like a crazy show. And
Right.
so I know that doesn't maybe not make sense. Like, how do I compare it to Jerry Springer? But it's like at the end, after all of that calamity, it's like he always caught my attention. It wasn't so much about all the craziness of the show, but because of my background, he always caught my attention at the end. He'll say something all like, psychological and calm and, bring everything to center and made it make sense and tied all the stories together. And I just love that thing. So that's how I kind of felt today.
That is true talent. That is true talent, because he sure did. Everybody coming down the stairs, boop, 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 and he bring it all back together. He's like, and this is just how we come together as family. Really, Jerry? Okay, we could do this because we brought it together there.
It inspired me to come and tune into the next show tomorrow.
Right? I know, right?
So y'all, I hope that this was awesome. Now, y'all check out Michael. It's every Thursday, noon Eastern Standard Time. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. Y'all make sure y'all check us out. We will have a great show next week. Make sure y'all have y'all time this weekend. Look, make it a glorious, real one. Be happy on purpose. Y'all go ahead and celebrate. If y'all gonna have to do barbecue, go ahead and do barbecue. Don't forget us.
Right. Send that plate.
That plate. And we appreciate you again. Y'all make sure that y'all share this out, please, because sharing is caring. If you found value, if you didn't find value, it's all good. We ask you to share it anyway. There's no guilt with us asking. There's no, shade or no, shame. Go ahead and share this out, because sharing is caring, and you never know. You just might save a life in the process. So everybody, thank you. Dani, as always, thank you so much. You always bring flavor to this, and we really appreciate you. I appreciate you. So thank you for your time.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great one, and we look forward to talking with y'all next week. This is Dr. Sarah Langley, Advancing the Adversity. Y'all take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.